Your life sucks when you can't accept yourself. That's probably as plainly as I could say that, and it's absolutely true for every single person because you were born with something of value and worth and purpose that you're supposed to bring to the world. But if you can't accept what that is, you just don't live the life you want to have. And I can speak to this because I've done it so many times. And if I had known this earlier in my life, I would be a multimillionaire by now. And I know that for sure because I had all these ideas. I was always a visionary and I had all these ideas, but people couldn't accept them all the time. That doesn't seem right, Roger. Maybe that won't work. In 1999, it was about then, a little bit before, I was doing vocal coaching and someone found me online and said, wow, we should do a TV show for you. I go, yeah, that'd be great. And I had all of these ideas. I sat and made this great proposal for it. And then this guy was a producer. He had a movie studio. And he said, let's build a sound stage for you. We're going to do this. And we had auditions for people. We were doing all these things because I had this idea of doing a competition show, but also making it educational so people could learn about music or the history and all of that and just make it really entertaining and fun. That's what I had. And so we started building the set, and we even have auditions. I still have that video, the tape of all the auditions that came through. But then the guy came back to me and he said, well, we took this to our developers, and they said, and our advisors said, well, this probably wouldn't work because reality shows are never going to work. That's never going to happen. And so they dropped the entire thing. And I believed them. And because I said, my intuition said to me, I knew this was supposed to work. It was just such a great idea, and a lot of other people liked it, but they said, no, this has never been done. I'm thinking, well, we have to create something new. All of us are born to bring something new to the world. We're not supposed to do the same old thing. But my mindset was not at a place where I could accept that. My mindset was not at a place where I could say, okay, well, I'll just take it somewhere else because I know I'm right. I couldn't do that. So I let it go. I dropped it, went back to something else. Then in 2002, American Idol came on, which is still running right now. And I'm thinking that was my idea. Well, not exactly, but it was similar to that because I knew that's where our world was moving and it would have helped. But I let go of it. Then years later, in 2009, I thought, okay, I'm going to do something else. Someone else contacted me again about doing this big thing, still with singing though. And I said, okay, I'll do that. We'll see what happens. And he said, well, this is going to be really successful. I did not believe that. I could not believe it, and I kind of held back a bit. But he said, no, I can see what you could do, and this could be really great. Well, and then in 2010, we finished this and we opened it, and all of a sudden, it was something great. That time, I did trust myself. And then that company went on to make more than millions of dollars. That's what happened as a result of that. And then I decided, well, I've got to move in another direction now because I knew the world was changing, and I've got to do personal development because I've had so much trouble in my life, and I knew that mindset was the most important thing. And if I could work on that and develop something. So I started years and years ago trying to put together something that would help people, a program, because I knew what was happening. I'd worked with so many clients over the years, and I could see that the main problem everyone had was not believing in themselves. This doubt. It was the same thing I went through. Just not believing this natural, intuitive thing that comes through that we could trust and build upon. We were all given something. God implanted something in every single person when they were born. But we also had programming. We also had those people who said, no, it's not you. No, you can't do it. Who said that this hasn't been done before, so of course it's not going to work. That's the most insane thing ever. Because we are each come into the world to add something new. That's why we were born. There would be no other reason for us to be born. And I know that this is challenging for people to understand, but it does work because it's only mindset. I'll tell you another story because this just happened today. Talking about my program, your last development program, I had someone I was speaking to a while ago, and they wanted to come into the program. They said, I can't really do it. I don't have enough time, don't want to spend the money, even though it was so inexpensive. But then they decide, well, let me try it for a bit. And I said, okay, I'm going to cancel your subscription, though, because I don't want you to do it for more than a month if this is not for you. Today I received an email, oh, please reinstate my subscription. I'm I'm not making this up. This is exactly what happened, because they got in there and they saw the difference it was making. Some of you might have seen one of the testimonials that I published a while ago from someone else who was in the program, who had finished this first month, just the boot camp thing, and they said how they got in touch with everything about them, that they understood their demons, they understood what was getting in the way, they understood what was holding them back. And they could only do that because of the work that I put together. And I could only give you that work because I lived all that stuff, so I know. When I look at people and I see them suffering in any single way, and I know it's only because they don't know who they are. That's the only reason that you're insecure. That's the only reason that you don't have confidence. Only reason you don't finish your projects, the only reason that you procrastinate, it's the only reason that you have terrible relationships and you keep repeating them and you can't find the right one. It's the same reason that you struggle financially, because you haven't found the thing that you were given that you were supposed to bring to the world, because see, that you would love and that you would stay with it and you would do whatever it would take to get that thing out into the world. And so it's a different time in our world now as well. So we're going to create new stuff. We come into the world at certain times, and this is the change in the world, an evolutionary change. That's what's happening. And so when I discovered that I had downloaded a philosophy from all the work that I had done, I said, oh, wow, it's called Your Life Operating Instructions. Your Life Operating Instructions, what's that? Your life operating instructions for a new world, because we're moving into a new world. And the way that we do that is by becoming successful, by becoming the people we're meant to be, adding different energy to our world so we start to change things, because that's what's going on everywhere. But if we're in fear, if we're in doubt, we're adding something else to the world, and things just go crazy as they are currently in our world. That's what's happening. And so you can see this because we have sciences now. We know how we create our lives, how we energetically create our lives. It's all in our thinking. We create our personal realities by the way we choose to think. And sometimes the way we think is not serving who we're supposed to be, because we have old stuff. We come into the world limited with old stuff. And unless we're willing to look at that and move through it, we're not going to accept ourselves. And that's the main problem. All of my work now is doing this work with people because, first of all, it's so thrilling to see people finally understand who they are and start to live the lives they were supposed to live. But it also, I know that it makes a difference in the world. The more happy, successful people we have in the world, we create something quite different. I did a presentation for this Facebook group. I wish I could show it to you, but it's a private group, so I can't share the videos. But I did it twice. I did it on Friday, and then I did it on Sunday. And because I wanted to explain to them about this work and how it works, I said, I can show you every problem that you might have, and I have the answer. I can point it to you. And we did that. They were like kind of blown away. They were like, how does this happen? We have this disbelief. I did too. I didn't understand what I had. And even in 2021, when I first put it out there, I was shocked that what it was doing. People said, you know, I've done Tony Robbins, I've done Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor, but this seemed to work better. This seemed to work faster. I had to come to accept that. You have to come to accept who you are. The work that I'm doing now is going to that place. Now, but I want to tell you what's going to be even better, because it's going to be bigger now. It's going to be 3 months, and I have a staff. I have other people who are coming into it, and they are doing great work. So there's no way that anybody could fail, because we can cover everything now. We can cover every aspect of your life that's holding you back to get you to the place where you can become successful. And it never matters how successful you've been already, because there's always more. There's another level. And I can say this because I've worked with multimillionaires who want to get their mindset into the right place to reach the next level. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing a great interview on this coming Friday, which I'm thrilled about, because I'm going to take this word. I've got to talk about it. I'm going to take this work in a much bigger place. But after the first, next Wednesday, something, we're going to be making changes, and you'll see that. And the prices, of course, will be much different, because we're going to make it so robust that it's total life transformation for success, because it's within every single person. All you've got to do is just do the work. That's it. But I want to talk about this because the world's going to be changing, and you're going to want to know who you are. You're going to want to feel self-empowered. You want to work on things that you're developing that's causing you to actualize who you're supposed to be, so you feel your importance in the world right now. That's what's happening, because these changes are going to go on for a while, which is why I am doing this work. But you are the most important person in your life, and the only reason that you have any kind of difficulty ever is because you haven't discovered that. You just haven't discovered who you are. My work gets you there, and that's why I can guarantee it, because it always works. If you stay with it, you get to that place and you live this great life. All right. See you soon.